possible to recover from mental illness without support, I am sure, but I know having support does make the process go a lot more smoothly. In today's Mental Health Week 2K16 video, we will be talking about support. When I went to the OCD intensive outpatient program for the first time, the peer support I got there was amazing. Doctors and therapists are great, but there's nothing like conversing with someone who really understands your illness. Getting advice and feedback from them means so much more than getting it from a professional. Some kids in the program would hear things from the therapist all day long, but they will not start doing them until they hear it from one of their peers. We supported each other always in the program. We were there when we had wins and we were there when we had losses. I miss that so much. Having peer support is honestly priceless. Today I want to talk to you guys about ways you can find peer support to help you in your recovery. First way is support groups. The IOP program was an intensive outpatient program that met daily where I would meet and participate in therapy with other patients. Support groups give the peer support of that program, but not daily. And it's often not therapy based either. Support groups typically meet once a week, once a month, whenever it works for yours. It could be totally different, I don't know. But it's typically just a place for people to share their experiences and talk about therapy, talk about treatment, talk about their illness with people who understand. They're typically run by a doctor or a therapist or someone, but for the most part, most of it is just people, patients. People who are going through the same illness you're going through or going through mental illness in general. They're typically inexpensive, but it may cost something each meeting, or you might have to register and pay a registration fee, and that's usually just to keep the support group going. It can often cost a lot to rent out a place for a support group, so even if the support group is really cheap, know that they're putting in a lot of effort to just keep it running. It's really kind of like a donation to keep it going. For some of them, I don't know, I don't speak for all of them, this is just what I've heard. If you have a therapist or a psychiatrist, talk to them about support groups nearby. They may have insider information on your town's mental health community. The second way is the internet. I'm in a few online communities and I can tell you they are very helpful. There are many forums, groups, blogs, YouTube channels where you can go to find peer support in your struggle with mental illness. In my experience, the OCD blogging community is incredibly helpful and active. We even offer support to each other on our Twitter account. To find these things, we can use our good old friend Google or just search social media sites. The third type of support is friends and family. So support doesn't always have to come from people who have the same illness as you. Support can actually be from a family or a friend. Please do not be afraid to reach out to someone you love and trust. They may understand a lot more than you give them credit for. It also may be helpful to talk to someone who doesn't have a mental illness because they can give you objective advice on what you're dealing with. If you're caught up on a faulty belief system, they can offer the advice of someone with a healthy brain. They can help you realize when your illness is getting the stronghold. 1 in 4 people, I've heard, I think in America, 1 in 4 people deal with mental illness. So it's very likely that someone in your life, someone that you know personally, has a mental illness. So don't be afraid to reach out. You never know what you're going to find out from people who you might think are very against mental illness or don't really know what it is. You never know what you'll find out. I also want to mention that sometimes our friends and family are not very supportive. And that can be particularly devastating with family when we're still under their roof. That is when you really want to look at the support options I mentioned earlier. It's really hard to live in a house where people don't understand you or don't try to. But you are not alone, and you will not be there forever. So finding a therapist, counselor, psychiatrist, vital for a good support system. It is so great when you can have a great support team for you, working with you the whole step of the way, trying to help you get better. That way you always have someone to talk to, you always have someone there right beside you while you're going through this. I did want to mention, when seeking peer support, keep on the lookout for toxic environments. This can happen with any sort of support, but I find it's very common online. Choose who you hang out with carefully. Make sure whoever you choose is promoting recovery and not spending time doing self-destructive behaviors. And you may be thinking, they're my friend, how can I leave them? But it's important in recovery that you put yourself first. Don't hang around with people who are going to bring you down or make you relapse. And to clarify, you do not need to leave that friend. You can continue to be friends with them, but do not start participating in or promoting their self-destructive behaviors and lead them towards the help they need. They need someone on their path to recovery, just like you. I also have a blog post that I wrote about peer support, and so if you're interested in checking that out, I'll put the link in the description. Thank you guys for watching and have a happy Mental Health Week. By the way, this year for Mental Health Week, we'll be raising money for the organization called NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Health. mental illness, sorry. It's not an H. Like Kristen, the woman who created Mental Health Week, is actively involved in this organization. She loves it, and so we are raising money for them. So if you would like to donate, I'll have the link to the fundraising page below in the description. Please don't feel pressured to donate, but if you would like to, it will be there. Bye! By the way, this year for mental if you're cut off, is actively ow, oh my leg hurts. My leg hurts. Okay. Oh, so sweaty, I'm sticking to my table.